Hails and welcome to Rauta's Black Metal Reviews. This time it's a duel, and it's kind of a peculiar duel because it's not like two albums against one another, but a split album and a full album against each other. Well, technically speaking, this whole against each other thing kind of is just a gimmick for these kind of videos where I have more than one album for review. Now, because there is an endless amount of queue and review albums, I'm gonna put these together. So this is all about Vulture Lord, a Norwegian black metal band started in 1995. This is their second album, 2021, and then there's a more recent split with Vulture Lord and Black Altar from 2022. Let's start with the older one and let get the engine rolling. So this is their second album that came out in 2021 by Odium Records, as the same thing as with the Black Altar split, and I'll explain the reasons. Now let me not break this. Yeah, here it goes. So replacing it up. This is how it happens when they're too tight. Anyway, here it is sending All Hail Nefas, which is, I guess, Ergehal Nefas, may he rest in peace, who was a major part of the black metal band Ergehal, also from Norway. Now, why is this, or how is this related to Vulture Lord, is something that I can totally show you in a little bit when I open the Metal Archive site on the background. But to quickly recap, all of these members have been one way or another part of Ergehal in the past, live or studio. So there is a strong connection between Vulture Lord and Ergehal, and it's not only limited to that, but we'll get that into a bit. Here is the band photo for this session, for this album. This is a pretty thick cardboard booklet, so it looks fine and feels fine. These are the kind of details I pay attention to when I feel the need, or how to put it, when I feel it. You know, like there's difference when we have this kind of a really cheap ass basic kind of a packaging, and then you have the more, some say, luxury kind of a thing in your hands. You will find and notice the difference. And then we have this split with Black Altar from Poland, Vulture Lord once again from Norway, and Deathiah Manifesto. This is also Odium Records released, and Odium Records is, by the way, owned by Black Altar guy, so that's the connection here. And here we have once again lineups listed. This goes into nice inverted cross fashion, so pretty sweet packaging. If I only got to open it properly, but no, of course it's going to fold in the wrong way. But here you have it. You have all the lyrics, all the liner notes, track list, of course, a little bit of art, both sides, CD, everything. So looks sweet and all that stuff. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that complements really the whole music here, and it's a very, very good reason to own a physical copy, or it's just something that is just streamable. So as you can see, both are pretty sweet looking packaging, except the one that I just broke here. God damn it, jewel cases. But it is what it is. Let's not cry about it. I have plenty of spare ones to use. So here it is. Vulture Lord from Norway started in 1995, and previous to that operated under different monikers for a few years. But the curious thing is, nothing really happened in terms of albums before 2003. So there were demos, there were compilations. Don't know exactly the reason why nothing really happened that much, but anyhow, the thing here is, after 2003, nothing too much happened once again, except an EP, more compilations, and until 2022. So 18 years of gap between the album number 1 and 2. Interesting enough. Then we have Black Altar here in the other browser tab. And this one is almost as old, from 1996, but isn't exactly more active when it comes to albums. I mean, there are 2 albums, 2004 and 2008, and the rest are just mostly splits. There is an EP or 2 here, and of course demos, singles, whatever. But album-wise, both of these bands quite lazy. Now, let's first tackle the Desecration Rite album, because that was the older one, 2021. Roughly some 38 minutes, 9 tracks, straight to the bone of kind of a Norwegian black metal of aggressive style. Now this is maybe listed here as black trash band, but to be honest, I don't find too much trashiness. Or let me put it this way. While there is trashiness, I wouldn't really call this black trash, because after all, so many old school black metal bands have strong trash vibe, and you still don't call them black trash. Bathory, for instance, Urgerhal, another thing. But that is more like an old school nodding, being the kind of aggressive, and not only by fast tempo like Marduk and the stuff, but having the kind of aggression which then again is done with very intense guitar playing, and lots of cool riffs happening. So there's a lot of aggression and energy all around throughout this album, and as such it reminds me a lot of Urgehal. Not only in terms of, like because of having the same members, but how some of the riffs are. Maybe Urgehal is a little bit less trashy, but roughly these two bands are in the same ballpark. Same style, aggressive vocals and straight to the point, hitting your face with fists and all. Now throughout this album, there are no single weak tracks at all, in my opinion. I mean, this is a good album because it delivers violent blows left and right. And it's not exactly apologetic or going very atmospheric, not ballad-like, blah blah blah. You get the idea. It's rough, tough, aggressive, and intense. I like it. And it's a good album for sure. Too bad that you just had to wait for like 18 years for that. And about this lineup, indeed, I mean, if you take a look at Vulture Lord's lineup here, it's pretty interesting to see that only the vocalist is the original member. And even though the drummer has been here for like pretty much since the early days, still the guitar players, I mean, they're younger, not younger, but nearer to the band from 2016 to 2018. And it's not only limited to Urgehal where there's overlapping, there's also Beastcraft and then Desma. So, there's a lot of overlapping between different bands, not limited to Urgehal and Vulture Lord, but beyond. So it's quite interesting overall. So lots of active members in the Norwegian scene being part of this band as well. So it's kind of a shame that Vulture Lord has been put so much on the background. So, and it's also quite easy to see if people would be calling it some kind of side project, because I mean, overlapping with lots of bands and a lot of activity where other bands are putting more albums out there makes it feel like a little bit of a neglected side project. But like I said, it is what it is, and you cannot force these things. Sometimes things take their time, and that's what it is. Then Black Altar, obviously, from Poland, having a little bit different lineup, and this also has only one original member. The rest, so new, 2021, 2022, and all that stuff. So only the Shadow, the mastermind behind Odium Records and all that stuff, he has been the only constant member of the band. And so these two are quite the same setting in terms of not too many albums and only one original member and all that stuff. But let's take a look at the track list here for Deathiah Manifesto. This is 27 minutes, featuring only 2 actual tracks by Black Altar, if you exclude intro and outro, because they're not technically speaking, so much as like black metal tracks. So there's a couple of pretty strong and cool tracks, but nothing phenomenal, not too memorable. And as such, it kind of passes the torch quite soon to Vulture Lord, which then again takes over and delivers you way more aggressive and intense playing. I mean, of course, this split is very much in terms of Vulture Lord to the full album, and it kind of overshadows Black Altar, ironically, having Shadow of the name. Oh, whatever. The thing here is, Black Altar is good, overall good, and very listenable and all that stuff. There are no major flaws or anything like that. It's very, very listenable whether you listen to individual releases by Black Altar or any of these splits. It's been pretty constant in quality and all that stuff. But I'll tell you this much, in my opinion, Vulture Lord is somewhat better, and that's why it dominates here. Not only in terms of, having more tracks, 4 tracks versus 2, plus intro and outro, but because it's more violent, it's more intense, it's more just, punchy. So there's that. But if I had to choose the winner between the full album or the split, I guess you already know the answer by now, but I would say go with the full length. Why? Because this is more consistent in quality and style, and also way longer, more music. I mean, this is closer to 40, where this is less than 28 minutes. But if you like the bands, I mean, both bands, there is no reason why to skip this one, especially with the cool package and all. So This is a very cool way to get to know both bands if you have ignored them in the past or if you have just missed them. But if you already know what to expect, well, this is maybe not the first thing to do, but rather go for albums by both bands. But like I said, both are cool releases. The Vulture Lord album is just a little bit better. So check it out. You will find links provided in the description box. You can listen to the music and find all the necessary information related to these two bands. And then you can just go for real Norwegian and Polish black metal. That's what all you need to know. Meanwhile, take care and see you soon with more reviews coming away.